Hey guys, and welcome back to another video, and today to take a quick look at this Android TV box that has the same specifications as the Mibox 3 but costs only half the price. And we are back. So this is exactly the reason that I'm looking at this box. It has the same specifications as the Mibox 3 and costs half the price. And I wanted to check out how good or how bad this box performed. And let's start this video by saying that it costs half the price and it will behave half than what the Mibox 3 delivers in terms of real-world experience. Now, if we look at the specifications, it has the exact specifications that the Mibox has. Actually, it has 8 GB more of flash storage, but starting with the resolution, if you are looking for something to display 4K resolution on your 4K TV, then this box will have a terrible or horrible experience, as you want to call it. We will have a lot of freezes, frame dropping, the UI gets really slow, so the experience will be really bad. Unfortunately, I also played YouTube and a few apps in 4K while I was at it, and what I can say is that although we will be able to YouTube at 4K, the experience will be the same that we find on the UI, which is horrible. We will have a lot of frame dropping, the experience is jaggy, so not usable at all in terms of 4K resolution. Nonetheless, for those of you that are looking for a 1080 machine at a really low budget with Android TV OS, then this is actually not a bad choice. And I will leave some links down below so that you guys can check out the price for this one and also the review for the Mibox 3. But this is one of the points: at this price, for anyone that has a 1080 TV, this might be a consideration, because when we change to 1080 resolution, it looks and it feels like a completely different box. It gets smoother, the UI is completely smooth. I can actually do some multitasking, and although I've got here a flash storage unit that is slower than the Mibox and slower than many boxes that we have seen in the past, and we will have to wait a little bit longer to open and close any app, in terms of multitasking I've got no complaints over here, because for the price it actually behaves quite well. Now, in terms of the remote control, it comes with a cheap remote control. Actually, the box is all cheap. The plastic is really cheapy compared to the Mibox, which feels a lot better, but we have to understand that at this price point we will not get much more than this. But talking about the remote control, it's a cheap wireless remote with no air mouse functionality, but we have the voice control, which works quite well. I was testing and playing around with it, and although my English is not native, it understands me quite well. The same experience in terms of the Android experience that I've got with my Shield and my Mibox in this kind of scenario, just recognizing my voice. Now, in terms of benchmarks, if we take a look just for a moment, and I want to do another comparison here with the 3 boxes that we've seen yesterday. Boxes that cost a little bit more and some that cost the same price range, but the numbers are almost the double that we get with this box in terms of benchmarks. But just to make this statement that although this one has half the numbers that we've seen on the boxes yesterday, this one has double of the performance that we've seen there, at least in terms of real world usage. We saw that we couldn't use those boxes to play some games, we couldn't use to install a lot of apps, and here we have this compatibility that we can install almost everything that we want. And although the performance is not huge, is a lot better than we've seen yesterday. Not wasting your time, just to make this comparison here. In terms of the experience that I had in terms of real world performance, what I can say is that at 1080, not 4K, at 1080 we will get a great YouTube playback, smooth video playback, no issues at all right over here. In Kodi, I was also able to play my movie library over my network, 1080 Blu-ray, MKV files, no issues at all. Have in mind that I was using the Ethernet connection to connect to my network attached storage solution, so forget about the Wi-Fi because the experience is horrible as well. If we compare the Wi-Fi from this machine to the Mibox, which once again I will leave a link down below with all the tests that I did back then. You will see that we will get really poor numbers right over here, while on the Mibox 3 the numbers were great. Now I also tested with Plex and the experience was good. I also tested my ISP IPTV service, and as expected the experience was also good. The only thing that I would say that we will get disappointed, but it's not only with this box, with any low budget box that it's not certified by Google and not certified by Netflix, we will not have Netflix HD or 4K working right over here. It will not even work, this Android TV OS Netflix version. So the only solution that we will have at this moment for this kind of box, as we have seen on other boxes in the past, is to install the Netflix mobile version that will give us a SD quality of 480 resolution, which is not good, especially for those that are looking for a machine that can display Netflix movies and series at a higher and better resolution. And then in terms of gaming, as I was saying, we can actually play a few games right over here, unlike the machines that we saw yesterday that were really difficult to install games because of compatibility issues, and although some games we could install, we couldn't play. Here I will show you some images of Asphalt Extreme, which will give us actually good experience, and I did test a few others and no issues at all. So in terms of gaming, in terms of streaming, in terms of everything at 1080 resolution, I've got no complaints with this machine, although we will have to know that it's slower than the Mibox 3 in terms of multitasking and in terms of opening and closing apps. And with this, we are going to close this video. So guys, will I recommend this box? It depends. For someone that has a 4K TV, then guys, spend a little bit more and get a Mibox 3 at least, or think about the NVIDIA Shield TV if you really love Android TV OS, because this machine right over here will not deliver that kind of experience. At 4K it's just terrible. But if you are one of those with a really low budget and you only have a 1080 TV or even lower HD TV, then this might not be the worst idea that you had, because at 1080 the behavior is quite good and acceptable, having in mind of course the price, which is much lower. In this particular case, half at this moment, of course, half the price of the Mibox 3, giving a acceptable experience at 1080. And that is it, guys. I'm going to shut up. Hopefully this video was helpful in some way for those of you that are looking at this machine and comparing with others, and if it was, don't forget that usual thumbs up. My name is Roberto George, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.